12 years after Minecraft Legacy Console Edition first released on the Xbox 360 in May of 2012, this version of the game still has a small but devoted player base, despite not having been updated since Village and Pillage in 2019. And in today's video, we will be exploring the free separate minigames, exclusive features like the custom Superflats, massive tutorial worlds, as well as the nostalgic survival experience. The last tutorial world that this version would receive was the Update Aquatic World in 2018. However, for the Xbox One and Nintendo Switch editions, which never received said edition, their last world was added in Title Update 46, which was the update that added the Elytra and End cities. When they made the Aquatic World, 4J likely knew that this was going to be their last, and they made sure to go out with a bang. Both worlds have an awesome Elytra course, and you can use them to easily farm some of the most difficult achievements in the game, as each tutorial section has abundant resources. Also, if you're enjoying, then please make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new gaming video, and to help me hit 500 subscribers. I greatly appreciate you all. Outside of the tutorial world, there are dozens of statues, villages, and outposts to explore, and I'm pretty sure that 4J built a statue of every animal in the game at the time. Personally, my favorite village in either of these worlds is the jungle outpost on the TU-46 world, which doesn't really have too interesting of loot, but it's in a beautiful jungle biome, and the build gives me Vietnam flashbacks. And before I forget, there's also the legendary music disc hunt that was an iconic feature of every single world since TU5, and you can find 12 well-hidden discs in various locations scattered across the world. Once you finish the tutorial world, you can head on over to world creation to create a custom Superflat, and as you'll see, you can make your world out of almost any block you desire, as well as high as you want. Additionally, depending on what blocks you make the world out of, you can add various structures and natural carvings, plus set how often they spawn, although not every building will generate in every circumstance or with every setting. Sometimes if you're lucky, you can make dope generations with strongholds floating in the air, mineshafts below stained glass, and ocean monuments above water. This is a dope feature that Java and Bedrock still haven't been able to match without mods, and I personally have used it to make an Old West world where I constructed trains, abandoned mines, ghost towns, and a giant mountain which took over 2 years to build. A link to that video will be in the top right hand corner and description below. Due to the fact that Console Edition never had servers, 4J Studios added 3 different minigames that on occasion still have a decent player base today, with those being Glide, Battle, and Tumble. The Battle minigame is basically a ported version of Lifeboat survival games, and it features free default maps allowing for up to 8 players. Throughout each of these maps, there are numerous chests and secret areas to hide out in, which sometimes become a problem if you can't find the other player and the game runs out of time. You can also purchase 12 DLC maps, which range from ancient Greece to Fallout themes, made even better with their respective texture packs. You can also mess around with custom battle settings, which allow you to increase your lives, potions, add high power items, and much more. This is probably the most popular of the minigames and usually has players online even late at night, although finding a casual game and not some 10-player lives cringe fest can be extremely difficult at times. Like Battle, Tumble also has a bunch of custom modes such as levitating potions, extra layers, and fireworks. Personally, my favorite mode has always been snowballs, and if you load the game up today, then you need to know that everyone still online is going to be a veteran with a lot of experience under their belt. Shovels is also a fun mode, however, one thing that 4J never fixed is the fact that some people will section themselves off on their own little island, and you literally have to wait until the game's showdown to get snowballs so you can shoot them down, which oftentimes takes a few minutes. Every Halloween and Christmas, the Tumble Arena is changed to a holiday appropriate one and texture pack that makes the minigame even more fun to play, and you can see some super cool stuff while flying around as a bat. Unfortunately, nowadays, Tumble has a severe player shortage, and finding players at night after work can be very difficult. Usually the only time I play it these days is when I'm split screening with friends. On a side note, I also got the 7 achievements that you can earn in this minigame, which if you have an extra controller are all pretty easy. Same thing with the battle modes achievements. The glide minigame has always been one of my favorite things about Legacy Edition, and I've spent hundreds of hours trying to perfect every shortcut in solo mode, although admittedly recently I've fallen out of practice. Like Battle, there's free default maps, Cavern, Temple, and Canyon, as well as multiple DLC packs, which I bought all of them a few years back. I would be hard pressed to tell you which of these maps is my favorite, although gun to my head, I'd probably say Dragon. There's still a few people on YouTube who speedrun every map, and I honestly have no idea how these people can manage 33-second runs. There are 2 different glide modes, Score Attack and Timed Attack. In Timed Attack, he who gets the quickest time wins, while in Score, your time really doesn't matter, and you have to fly through as many hoops as you can to get the highest score, with greens being the lowest amount of emeralds and diamonds the highest. One thing that makes Legacy Edition unique is that to this day, players have created their own maps and minigames, which you can play if they add you as a friend and invite you to their world. I used to find maps to join in PlayStation communities, a feature that shut down in April of 2021. I personally have made some minigames, though I've never opened them to the public. In the first, you have to do some parkour, fight an Elder Guardian, and then defeat a room full of shulkers. In the second, you have to survive a seemingly never-ending barrage of arrows while hiding behind disappearing walls. And in the third, you try to survive tons of TNT dropping from the ceiling. All of them are pretty fun. As for the survival experience, while you're obviously confined to limited world sizes, I actually think that makes you use your resources in space better. Although if you're playing on large, frankly, I don't think scarce resources is really a problem. I used to have a world where I streamed on back in 2019, which I was able to transform into a dope place with this weird leaf fortress tunneling through the sky, along with a minecart tunnel which went from my base to the ocean and took centuries to build. Unfortunately, I lost this world a few years ago due to the game crashing and giving me a corrupted world sign. Personally, I've always enjoyed the simplicity of the crafting menu and its layout, and Legacy plays substantially better than Bedrock does on console, which I think we can all agree on that. Aside from that, survival isn't too different from the other versions, excluding that the nether and caves are both substantially outdated. And last but not least, there's still dozens of custom texture, skin, and mashup packs all made by 4J that you can still mess around with, and I personally think that the skins are all pretty cool because 4J had more freedom with their designs unlike Java and could make them bigger or smaller depending on what they needed to. Ultimately, Minecraft Legacy Edition is part of a nostalgic past that we can all still revisit on our 7th and 8th generation consoles, and to this day it remains the version of the game I've spent the most time playing, and I doubt any of us will forget our memories of the game anytime soon. Before you go, please like and comment your thoughts, plus hit the subscribe and notification bell. It really helps my channel out. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all next time.